Hello guys, I'm back from another video, and today we're talking about what if I was in My Hero Academia. So, in the last video, Hajime, well, you know, it was simple. Basically, after defeating, the League of Villains in in this internship, well, we saw in another perspective that they were being watched by these two women that call themselves sisters, but also call themselves Stella and Steel. So, after they left, we moved on to the funeral of, you know, the funeral of Ida because unfortunately he died. So, nobody can ever find the killer until a broadcast you know, was destroyed. Not really destroyed, more like disrupted. The news was disrupted as they moved to a different perspective. Or should I say, a different channel or broadcast. Where they saw, well, the broadcast from last time, which consists of mostly like ranting about all of the heroes basically being fake. And we saw that the broadcast was made by Hell, specifically, the royalties of Hell, because they're planning to control this world. And also, Deos approves of it. After all, the prideful quirk users have been growing, and so he needs to act now. And so he allows it, and allowing some of his angels to help them out, and also the monster realm also wanting to help because the king of that realm, being, Typhon, felt angry for the people that literally angry at the species that literally killed his wife. No matter if they're from another world or anything like that, he doesn't care. He wants them dead. And so he approved it, and so his armies are getting ready to kill those, quirk users that Hajime in this universe is literally, been raised in. And so that ended. So, let's talk about what happens next. Sorry guys that I actually recorded it pretty late at night. The reason why I couldn't the actual reason why I couldn't make a video yesterday is because of some important stuff. Specifically that there was a construction thing that's happening. So, yeah, that's why I couldn't make a video. So, and I hope this time it actually works. And I hope this recording won't get noisy like last time. And so, let's talk about what happens next. So, all of the heroes, after they saw that broadcast, including Class 1A and also several other heroes from across the world, after they saw that, let's just say, they were scared, including the League of Villains themselves, because they think that they're probably pretty powerful. Especially with those, numbers. Wait for a second. So, after they got wind of this, including All Might was kind of scared, thinking that they're part of the League of Villains. But after the broadcast, clearly said that they're from Hell and also not aligned with many quirk users, including if they're villains. So they're pretty much it's pretty simple. They hate all quirk users, including both heroes, villains, civilians, and many other people that have quirks. But the quirkless, they're okay. They just want to just kill the quirkless. They'll just want to kill the quirk users. But the quirkless, they will be revered as either kings, queens, dukes, and other such things. So, after the broadcast did end, many of them just like gun recordings of them, like little snippets. As when they saw it, it was kind of concerning, including for the League of Villains because they're pretty powerful. But some of them would just think it's probably just a prank. Until a unsuspecting country, like for example, or let's take this for example. I know, like a little unknown country was literally destroyed and also broadcasted by them, literally destroying the entire place. Not only that, that place was pretty strong, with the strong military might and powerful quirk users. And these guys were just defeating them with ease using special guns. And many of those were actually Persona users using, well, mostly using, what do you call them? Using mostly Spartans, and the generals using, Centurions. As they see something interesting, a boy that seems to be much more powerful than them and seems to be leading the charge. This boy seems to be wearing, well, a crown, and seems to have green hair and green eyes. Or at least they think so, because the camera shots were pretty obscure. The only thing that they can see is the blue hair. Not blue hair, I meant green hair, god damn it. Green hair and green eyes. The only thing that they can see is mostly the green hair, but not the green eyes. But they did see glimpses of it as he takes off the mask, as he rides on the throne, as a serpent literally coils around it. As every time when he does that, he would say Jormungandr and Persona most of the time. They think that is probably their quirk. But one of them would clarify, as it's the cameraman, looking like a man that is pretty short in stature, but also seems to have wings and horns. He has pure skin and, well, some white hair, and seems to be having, well, pure black eyes, like black as the blackest black hole that you can think of. As he would clarify, these things are known as personas, the physical manifestation of their true personality. As he would say, this is the leader of the Infinity Knights. Neat Izuku Midoriya. Unlike your Izuku Midoriya or Izumi or whatever the fuck you call him, well, this guy is quite powerful and quite hateful for the heroes. In his universe, let's just say, his people, or should I say, the people from his world literally tortured him and told him to kill himself. Maybe like a certain Bakugo Katsuki person. And then when he came back with his army, let's just say the heroes were crucified, including that Katsuki person and a certain man by the name of Toshinori Yagyu. As everybody was terrified. After hearing that, even All Might after hearing that, he was scared, because Toshinori Yagyu is his real name. Bakugo was terrified after hearing this, as he would say this, "Oh, and by the way, we have a stronger army coming soon. In, I don't know, maybe that place?" As the camera would change into a image of, well, another country. Let's just say, maybe like a high level country, like a country that's filled with like natural resources that are completely important. As with this, yes, that country. I hope you're ready because you're ready to go. Now, say ya, don't wanna be ya. As it cuts off, everybody was terrified as they see in the news of that country that several of these creatures started attacking them. Several of them mostly having the same quote unquote quirk. But they didn't realize that these, well, people seem to be wielding personas as well. As some of them would see that some of them look like, well, werewolves, others looking like, well, creatures from different mythologies, like for example, Jiangxi, and one of them seems to be seems to be something. This boy seems to be with him, seems to be, what do you call it? Seems to be slicing all of his enemies. as he seems to be wielding two crossbows, like he's a complete, well, pro at them, even though he looks like a kid. As one of them would say this, we don't know what the hell they are, but they're quite, like, they're pretty as he would get grabbed, as he was dragged by one of the soldiers and literally stomped to death. As for the cameraman was torn apart by these wolf-like creatures, or people, as the camera was picked up by that man, as these werewolf-like creatures say this, "Unfortunately, you stupid quirk users, you're about to die. Now, for the rest of you in Japan, you better start praying to your god, because this world's about to be taken over by hell, heaven, and the monsters. So, say your prayers, or get ready to serve us now. And the quirkless as well. After all, the quirkless are actually quite powerful in these parts of my world. And if you don't want to die, then stop praying. Actually, it doesn't matter. You're just gonna die anyway." And so, the camera was torn apart by some creature which was never been sawn. So, everybody was shocked, including Izumi herself, because there's a version of her where she was, well, a boy and, literally taken over and also decided to literally take revenge. Unlike her, she was confused and kind of angry. So, we go to the League of Villains. The League of Villains were concerned about what's happening. As for All for One, he says this. So, these monsters, demons, and other such creatures have been, well, strong. And they seem not to be quite negotiable with quirk users like us. As one of them would say this, being Dobby. Agreed. Like, seriously, they're super overpowered. Even more overpowered than you, All for One. Besides, what if they don't have quirks? After all, they did say that they're, they hate quirk users, so it makes sense that they would hate quirk users. Like, it would make sense that they would, have no quirks or something like that. As he would say this, "I guess you're right, Dobby." As, well, All for One would just look at, well, Izumi, as he would say this. Izumi. As Izumi would say this, "Yes, master." As he would say this, "What do we think? What do you think of this development?" As she would say this, I don't know. It feels abnormal. I feel angry at myself." As he would say this, "Anyway, I was planning on doing this for a while now." As he would grab something, as he shows a letter that's signed by him and All Might. As he would say this is a peace treaty. We planned on using this in the time of a greater villain that decides to rise up. We made this before we actually realized that, you know, as some of them were shocked. As Tomura, instead of being, well, the leader of the League of Villains, unfortunately, he's just a low-level thug with, well, the quirk, cremation given to him by All for One. As he would say this, "What? So, you actually made a treaty with him?" Huh. As he would say this, "Yes. Either way, I want to tell Yagyu, or should I say, All Might, that we're gonna be having this treaty, and no longer shall we fight, but now stand together, so we can fight this threat. If we can, at least." So, after this, we moved on to another perspective, being the Yakuza. The Yakuza is currently under fire because that settlement that the monsters and also the like literally hell, heaven, and the you know monster realm literally destroyed, he was quite angry because that resource, like those resources, were completely important to him, because that place is fueled with, well, some of his members, and seeing those members literally dismembered. Yeah, get the pun? Members dismembered. Anyway, after seeing his, well, most powerful people literally just like kaput, well, he was completely pissed at them. As he would get a letter, as this letter would say this: "We're here to steal your judgment. It's time for you to feel your judgment, young man. Or should I say, old man." As sound, thinking that this letter is probably some kind of joke, until he saw behind him a girl. Seems to be in her 17, like she's 17 or something, as she's wearing some really vulgar clothing. Under that, like under like the um you know the raincoat, a yellow one at that, is vulgar clothing, as she seems to be wielding some terrifying knives. She's wearing a bunny like, well, mask, as she would say this: "So you must be, actually I don't know your name, I don't really give a fuck anymore, but either way, my master, or should I say Lavenza, told me that I had to kill you. Apparently you're a threat. So, let me just have some fun before you know, die." As the place was screaming, like, they heard screams all across the, like, several, like, nearby places heard the screams as they were terrified. As they started calling the police and many other, like, people. As when they got there, like after they see like the yakuza being there, they captured them as they gone to the office of, well, you know, um, wait for a second, the office of Overhaul. And after they opened it, they see Overhaul's, well, body desecrated. Let's just say the sight was kind of disgusting. The place, or at least the pool over there, yeah, like the pool is white and also blood red. You can probably get what happened. As his throat was slit, his eyes gouged out, as walls would just be covered in symbols. Symbols that are actually Korean characters. As in like Korean words that spell out this: "Judgment for the quirk users. They must be punished. That is their judgment. They should pay with their lives and be one of us. One of the damned. We didn't deserve this, but they deserved it." Many people were terrified after that little incident. The heroes were scared after seeing that sight. Seeing, well, the most powerful Yakuza leader and the most powerful gang leader in the entire world just being defeated by this, whatever it is. They never saw the person. But she was watching the police getting shocked after seeing the, well, the dead and also defiled body of Overhaul. As she says this: "Not bad. Well, guess I'll start going. After all, my boss, Lavenza, probably might get angry for a while now." Now, she moves away. So for the others, they were terrifying. Many of the heroes try and like take them down, but most of the heroes were either slaughtered, defiled, ripped apart, desecrated, many other things. As The heroes couldn't take it anymore. They were scared. They couldn't beat this threat. As that country with like the country with like the most powerful resources and really important ones at that was being attacked. They saw on the news of that country that these large ships appeared, these floating warships. As they see several of these weird looking jets appear, these jets that shoot out bombs, these bombs literally poison the entire place. As their eyes roll back, as they basically die in an instant. As they see in the smoke, the cameraman was just running away while the camera was faced at the site. As one of them see a terrifying sight. A jet that specifically colored beige and purple transform, and it transforms into into a robotic woman as it laughed and laughed in a German accent, saying, "Now this is actually quite interesting." Isn't that right, Zwei? As Zwei would say this. Yes, quite interesting. As another person calls in, being the head spins as it goes to another face or personality. Either way, terrifying. As this face seems to be angry. As they realize it, as they realize in the news that this thing is female, because one of them will say this: "Don't you dare linger with that bitch of a woman." As all of them would fight, as they realize that they're dragging on the camera a little bit, as they say this: "It's nice to meet you. I am the squire of Izuku Midoriya. I am Blitzwing. Now, I hope you're ready for our master's arrival into your country, or at least his country back in the day, but it's not his country, technically, because he did take over his world after all, including his, old friend. Now, I hope you're ready because war is about to begin." As he crushes the camera, as everybody was scared after that little bit. All of the heroes, sorry about that, all of the heroes were scared at that point. As it's been a while now ever since that little incident happened. So everybody was scared, including, Hajime. Hajime was scared seeing all of this happen, thinking that this happening, is either his fault or even the world's fault. Because he did remember many people being bullied for having villainous, even quirkless and also weak quirks being bullied and told that they should die, they should stop being a hero, or even worse, you know, getting, live on live television, in fact. Wait for a second. So, after that thought, well, they hear something like a crowd. Specifically, everybody starts getting out of there, including some of like Class 1B. They see the heroes in front of the League of Villains. As everybody starts getting ready their weapons, as All for One would say this: "Hold on, hold on. I want you to, stop your students from fighting me. After all, Toshinori, we did have a truce back in the day." As he would give him the letter, as he would say this: "Our truce." As he would say this: "Yes, we want to fight this threat, including us. We don't want our world to be destroyed by these, whatever they are. So please, I want us to join back together. I want us to be friends again. We don't want to die. As we end this video here, I'm sorry, this is going to be the end of this episode, and so I hope you liked the video. Comment, subscribe, and also don't forget to like the video so I can make my channel a little bit bigger and also help me out in a good way. So, I hope you liked the video. Comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.